Hey everyone, it's time for another Will I Buy It. In this series I'm chatting about new makeup releases, if I maybe want to buy them or not at all, if I'm not interested at all. And this is gonna be a really exciting one because there are a lot of exciting releases this week. So I can't wait to talk about those with you, and also don't forget to let me know in the comments what you think about these releases. So let's get into it. There are always a few different Instagrams that I read from, where I get my news from. I always link them in the description so you can check them out for yourself. Well, I don't know what's going on outside, but I always put them in the description box so you can check them out for yourself and you know where I got this news from. So I'm sitting a little bit to the side so I can put up some pictures here so you know what I'm talking about. Let's start with the first thing. This is the new brand by Samantha Ravndal. It's called Auric and she is releasing some eyeshadows and some glowy face products. So the eye products are like these cream and powder duo. There's a cream and then you can put a more shimmery eyeshadow on top to really make it like impactful, but those are like $39. And then there's also those glowy face products. They are called the Glow Lust and they are like a radiant illuminizer which you can mix with skincare or foundation to add glow, and there are 7 shades. And that one is $45, and it kind of makes me think of that product by Charlotte Tilbury. It's called the Flawless Filter, I think. At least it sounds really similar. And this brand and these products aren't really for me. It's a bit too expensive and it's also not really my style. I do like the videos by Samantha Ravndal. I do watch them. I really like her personality. But her makeup style isn't really close to mine. She really likes neutral shades and maybe a little bit more simple looks. And she also likes luxury makeup, but that isn't really me. I do really like neutral looks and I do them quite often, but her style isn't really similar to mine, I feel. And also, yeah, I'm not really into luxury makeup, and this is definitely a luxury brand. These prices are quite high and they are way too high for me, especially if I have to order it from Canada or the US. I don't know where this is coming from. And then I also have to pay the high shipping and taxes. Then it would be like $60 at least for such an eyeshadow. And I feel like I can get a similar result with other eyeshadows that I already own. So I don't really need this. It doesn't really spark anything in me. It doesn't really make me interested. I do really like kind of the thought behind the brand, how she explained everything. I do like that she really made a brand and not made it just like Samantha Ravndal Cosmetics, but she really gave it a name and everything just looks so professional. It looks like they really put a lot of thought in it. And I also really like these promo pictures, but it just isn't for me personally. So I can appreciate it, but from afar. Then we have this Beauty Bakery bite-size makeup line. They're coming out with all types of minis, but I don't really know what this is about actually. It's not really clear from the picture, but if they have like mini highlighters or mini blushes, maybe mini glowy blushes, then I would be interested in it. I actually never tried Beauty Bakery, but I would be kind of interested if they had some minis that are quite affordable that I could get here in the Netherlands. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this, but I'm not really sure what it is about just yet. I just see this picture with all kinds of products on there, but there's not really an explanation just yet. I'm gonna keep my eye on this, but I don't really know yet if I'm gonna get anything from this. Then this Tarte palette. I don't really know how to feel about this. I think it just looks a little bit cheap and bland. I personally can appreciate these types of colors of eyeshadows. I can appreciate this from time to time. I really can. I do love a soft pink, a soft taupe, like neutral browns. I like it, but this palette just has a lot of similar shades and all the shades are kind of mid-toned. You have a few darker ones, but it just looks a little bit bland to me. And the price, let me see how much it costs. I don't see it here, but I can imagine that it's more expensive than I'm willing to pay for a palette with so many repeat shades. It's just nothing really interesting to me, and I just feel like Tarte isn't really bringing out any interesting makeup right now. And I also don't feel like their makeup is talked about a lot at this moment, and This isn't going to change that. This is just nothing special, and I feel like they're kind of behind on the trends. And then to bring out such a large palette, I don't think this is it. Then we have these two new 9-pen palettes by Lime Crime. These actually really made me think of those Norvina 9-pens, like these color stories, and the way the packaging looks, it looks really similar to that. I personally feel like this looks a bit cheap. There's nothing really wrong with the color story, but something about it doesn't really impress me or gets me excited or interested. I don't know what these would cost, but something about this layout and the packaging just doesn't do it for me, so I'm not really interested in this. I also never tried the Lime Crime formula. I don't know if it's good. If you know, let me know in the comments. I do kind of like the color story with the pink and the blue. It's not bad, but this just doesn't pull me in. So we have these new cream blushes by Rare Beauty. They're from the Stay Vulnerable collection. There are also some glossy lip balms and Stay Vulnerable liquid eyeshadow. I'm not interested in this brand in general, and I'm also not interested in this launch. It all looks like this creamy, effortless makeup. It looks kind of young, and I can't really get it here, so that already makes me not interested. But I think if I could get it, then I wouldn't buy it anyway. It's just not really my style of brand and makeup, so I'm not really interested in this. And those colors don't really look like anything I would like, so I'm skipping on that one. Then we have this Chanel blush. It's called Fleur de Printemps. I think that's how it's pronounced, but I'm not French. I don't really know any French, so I don't know, that's my guess. And this is a really nice duo blush with this flower imprint. I don't think I will be buying anything from Chanel soon. It's just a bit too expensive. I'm not really into luxury makeup, but I do really like the look of this blush. It looks really pretty. I can imagine that a lot of people will be very enthusiastic about this blush and will want to pick it up. I think it's like, yeah, it's like $70. That's not really for me, but I do think it looks pretty. Then we have this Lunar New Year, the Year of the Ox collection by Colourpop, and it has two 9-pens of curated already existing shades. I kind of like the idea of this, but I don't really like these color stories. It looks a little bit bland. There's nothing really special about it. The packaging also doesn't really pull me in. I do like that they did a collection that doesn't have another palette in it, because they already have so many 9-pens. Yeah, these color stories aren't for me, but I guess I kind of like the idea of it. I'm quite neutral about this collection. It doesn't really give me any feelings. Then we have this eyeshadow palette by Violet Voss. It has 10, that's Dutch for 10. There's 10 shades for $18. I think the color story is fine. I think if I would have it, I would like it. I would do looks with it. It's quite neutral. It has some reddy browns in there. It's not bad, and the price is also not bad. I would like to try the formula sometime, but I don't think this is gonna be the palette to convince me to do that. It's called, what is this one called? Is it like Wildflower or Windflower? I don't really know, but I'm guessing they will come out with some more palettes in this format, and I don't mind that. I think a 10-pen palette for $18 is quite nice. But yeah, this color story just doesn't do it for me, so I'm skipping on that one. Then we have these MAC paint pots, and when I saw this, I actually was kind of impressed by the picture and I was kind of interested in it, although I would personally never buy this. So we have all these new shades of paint pot, and I think it's good that they did this, because at least in the Netherlands they didn't have a lot of shades in this formula, but it's quite a popular product. So we see kind of this rose gold, green, purple, red, more of a warm brown and a chocolate brown. I think it's a nice launch, but I wouldn't really buy a cream eyeshadow ever, because I've never tried a cream eyeshadow that didn't crease on my eyes, because I just have too oily eyelids for this. This wouldn't work on me, but I guess this would be a great launch for a lot of people who do like to wear cream eyeshadow. I do think these colors look really nice, but it also kind of feels like they're a bit late with doing this. They could have done this a lot earlier. Why are they coming out with this now? But I still think it's a good launch. Then we have this Lancome lipstick collection. It's a collab with Sophie Hallett, and I think these shades look really nice. They look really pretty. I'm not really interested in this brand, and I'm not really interested in buying any of these, but I do think these shades are really nice and they picked some nice tones for the lipsticks. And it's quite a nice launch, it's quite pretty and I can really appreciate that, but it's not for me personally. Then we have this 35S Morphe palette. I thought we were over this, I thought we were done with this, I thought that we were finally moving on and doing something else and the 35 something palettes, but here we are again and we have a new palette with a lot of redundant shades. Color story is quite nice, the blues and the pinks together, okay, I get it. It's, I guess, a little bit different than what they have done before, but I just think they could have curated this a lot better, made it a lot smaller and made it more attractive for more people. I don't need such a big palette in my collection, and if I would buy such a big palette, I'm not saying that I would never, then it probably wouldn't be something with so many redundant shades. So I guess I kind of like the idea of the color story, but I'm just done with this. I'm not really into Morphe as a brand in general, just because they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I guess it works for them, but it just isn't for me. Then we have this Colourpop Cloud Spun collection. They already brought out this palette, I think, on Black Friday, but now they made it a whole collection. And I just wanted to talk about this real quickly, because I did like the look of these blushes. Like the colors of the blushes, the tones that they picked, I do like. I feel like it's a little bit different than all the other blushes they already brought out. I don't think I'm gonna order something from this right now or in the near future. There are just a lot of other things I would like to buy before I make another Colourpop order, but I'm keeping these ones in mind. I've never really tried the Colourpop blush formula. I've heard some people say that they really like it, and some people I heard them say that they don't really like it. So I think I'm gonna try it sometime, but I don't know when that's gonna be. Then we have this Yves Saint Laurent spring release, and I don't really understand what's going on here. It's like a device that has three different lipstick color pots that you can use to make your own custom lip shade, and it is $300. It looks so strange to me. It doesn't look like it's a makeup product. I don't know what I would do with this one. I guess you can only mix those 3 shades and then get what you would like to wear. But is that worth $300? I think I'd rather just get a lip palette and then have a lot more options to really mix everything that I want. I feel like this still wouldn't give you a lot of options, and it's just so expensive. You can buy so many lipsticks for that price if you would want to. You can buy all the lipsticks that you want, all the shades that you want. Yeah, I don't think that this is worth it at all. I kind of feel like it's a gimmick, like they wanted to make something that looked futuristic and felt like it gave you all the options, but actually it's nothing better than what we already have for much cheaper, for a much lower price. So I personally don't really get this, and I would never buy something like this. Then we have this new collection by Kiko Milano. It's the romantic collection. Oh, it's called the Ray of Love collection, and it's their new limited edition. We have highlighters, blushes, lipstick, eyeshadow duos. I'm usually quite interested in their limited editions, but they do have a lot of products that are similar across their limited editions. So if you have some products from their limited editions, you don't have to buy everything from other limited editions. So for me, this doesn't have anything new or really special, and then I would rather wait for another collection that has something that I would really like. They have a new collection like every other month, so I'm gonna be watching them, but I'm not really interested in this collection. There's just nothing in here that really speaks to me. Like those blushes are really nice looking, but they are a bit too bright for me. I wouldn't really spend the money on eyeshadow duo. These colors and these products aren't really what I'm looking for right now, but I'm watching Kiko for sure. Maybe in the future they will bring out something that I'm interested in, but this isn't it. I also just feel like the packaging looks a little bit cheaper than what they usually do, and I do like their packaging usually, so I'd rather wait for some nice packaging as well. Then we have the Nomad eyeshadow palette, and it's the Iceland eyeshadow palette. It's based on like fire and ice, that's their inspiration. We see ice on the outside and a fire on the inside, and then we have a color story with a lot of blues and then some reds in the middle. I have to say, when I first saw this, I was kind of interested in it. I've seen some videos, I was kind of like, should I get this, should I not? But in the end, I think it's not perfect for me. I would like to try the Nomad formula, but this color story is just not it for me. I do like all the blues and the greens together, and I do like the look of the purple, but that middle row with the reds and the oranges, that's really warm toned in comparison to the rest of the palette. It just kind of throws me off. It's not a row I would really reach for. It's not a row I would really wear, and then every time I would open the palette my eyes would go directly to that, and I think it's just a little bit too orangey red for my taste. I do love that red on the bottom that's a little bit more cool toned. So if this were a little bit of a smaller palette with just the blues and the greens, I would be really interested, but I think looking at it and being like truthful with myself, it's not for me. I'm not gonna get this one, but I'm keeping an eye on Nomad Cosmetics because I would like to try them. Then we have the MAC Cosmetics and Harris Reed collection. This looks kind of interesting. It looks a lot better than the Sims palette that everybody is talking about, and not in a very good way. The packaging looks really interesting. The colors are a lot more interesting. It isn't for me. It isn't really my style, not really my colors, not really my type of packaging, but I can appreciate it. So this is a lot better. They're doing better, this collection. Then we have this Wet n Wild collection, and I think it's like the Valentine's collection. I don't know what it's called, but this is like the prime example of what I hate about Wet n Wild packaging. It just looks so cheap. It just looks so weird. I don't know what they did, like the shape of those nail polishes and just the color of the packaging and the font. I just think this looks horrible. I would never buy something with this bad packaging because I just know I wouldn't reach for it. I really don't know what they were thinking when they were designing this. Then we also have some sort of New Year's collection from NYX Cosmetics or NYX Professional Makeup, and it has some eyeshadow palettes, I think, but I also see that there is another eyeshadow palette that's more like the Valentine's collection. So let's start with the Lunar New Year collection. This is just really brown, really simple, really neutral. Not really something I'm interested in right now. And then we also have the Valentine's collection. I like this color story a lot better. I do like these combinations of the purples and the blues, but I don't really like the packaging and the layout, so that already makes me feel like I'm not interested. There's so much nice makeup on the market right now. There is just so much that I like and would like to buy. So this, when I see something like this, I'm right away like, I'm not even gonna think about it. Then we have this new Juvia's Place collab palette. They are doing a lot of collabs at this moment. And this one is with Vanessa. This one doesn't have a pressed glitter as far as I know, so that's good. I appreciate that because I don't need pressed glitters in every palette. I don't mind them, but I'd rather have a normal eyeshadow in my palette. This palette looks quite nice, but it's not really my color story, not something I'm looking for right now. That really bright orangey red throws me off. And when I look at that shade, I'm already like, I'm never gonna use it, so then I wouldn't buy this palette. For a 6-pan, I think I would love to be able to use all the shades in the palette. And then we have a new release by Charlotte Tilbury. It's called the Hyaluronic Happy Kiss. It has hyaluronic acid and C-peptide for intensely hydrated lips. It looks quite nice, but I don't think I'm interested right now in such a balmy product for such a high price. This is not something I'm looking for. I do like the lip swatches, how they look. It's quite nice, but I'm not gonna get something like this. Then we have a new collection by Colourpop, and it's called the Melrose collection. My voice is not really working with me today. It keeps like cracking and stuff. So we have a new collection by Colourpop. It's called the Melrose collection, and this palette looks kind of nice, but it also kind of looks like something they've done before. It's nothing really special. We have some more cool tone neutrals and some warm tone neutrals. I'm sure I would like it if I would have it, but it's just not special enough for me to be interested in right now. Then the most exciting palette, at least according to me, for this week, the collab of Agnieszka with Kaleidos. I didn't see this coming. I didn't expect this to happen, but when it did, I was like, this is so perfect. This combination of this brand and this YouTuber is just a match made in heaven. this is what it was supposed to be like. I think they couldn't have chosen anyone better than Agnieszka for their first collab. I'm just so happy for her, and I was so excited to finally see that launch video, to see her explaining all the shades. I just love the color story, I just love the idea behind it, I love the packaging and just how sultry and cool everything looks. It's like I asked for this, but I didn't even really know it. It was just such a nice surprise to me. So it is already launched. It's available. I don't know if you can still pre-order it when you see this video, because the pre-order started this morning. I got up really early and of course I ordered it because I was just so excited about it. I just love the color story and the whole idea, and I just love Agnieszka. She is just my favorite YouTuber. She inspires me so much to use more color and to try some different color combinations, and she is just so funny and I just really love her videos. So yeah, I just had to get this palette before I even saw the color story. I was like 99% sure that I was gonna get it. So yeah, for me this was such an exciting launch. I'm just so happy for Agnieszka and I can't wait to try this palette. Then a collection by Colourpop that everyone I think has been waiting for. I believe it was leaked, but then it was removed again, so I didn't really know what was going on, but we already kind of knew that there was gonna be an Animal Crossing collection with Colourpop. I do like the look of this collection. I do like the look of these quads, but I did see a video and in every quad there's a pressed glitter, and that just makes it a lot less worth it to me. And so even though I like these color stories, I'm not gonna get anything from this collection. It's just not really for me when there's a pressed glitter in every palette. I did like the idea of it. Also, I've never played Animal Crossing, so that whole thing, the collab, doesn't really appeal to me. Then we have another release that I'm kind of excited about, and I'm not really sure if I'm gonna pick anything up from this, but I'm kind of interested. And that is the new Natasha Denona Mini Love collection. This is for Valentine's Day. There's a lipstick, there's a 5-pen for $25, and then there's a blush highlighter duo. I do really love the combination of shades in this eyeshadow palette, and I also don't really feel like I have these colors. It's not like I have these colors 100 times over, and I do like this combination. I can really see myself doing looks with this one and using it quite often, because I just really love these types of toned down purples and pinks. I also thought this blush and highlighter duo looked quite interesting. The highlighter is like a pink to a gold, and then that blush is kind of a coral, and I saw a video and it looked quite buildable, so it didn't look as crazy on the cheeks as it looks in the pan here. So I'm kind of interested in both those products, but they are a little bit on the expensive side, like $25 for 5 little pans. It's not extremely expensive, but it's also not that cheap. I do like the look of this duo. I do think this highlighter looks really interesting, but I don't really know if I would use that cream blush a lot. So I'm still on the fence about this collection. I'm not really sure. I think I'm just gonna see if there are some reviews and see what they say about it. So I'm just gonna watch some videos and then I'm gonna decide. Then yesterday, Colourpop also announced this Wild Child collection, and it's kind of like this giraffe animal theme, and they have this kind of neutral to warm brown eyeshadow palette and some warm brown blushes. I do like the look of this collection, but there's just so much Colourpop and I'm not really gonna buy anything from them now. I think I mainly like those two bottom rows, but the middle shade kind of looks like a pressed glitter, and that already makes me feel like I don't know if I want another pressed glitter. So I do like the vibes of this promo picture, but I'm not gonna buy this right now, and probably not in the future. I'm not really pulled in that much, and with Colourpop, if something isn't like your perfect palette, just wait a little bit, they will come out with something else that you like better. So that was everything for Trend Mood. Let's take a look at Indie Makeup Spotlight. I don't know if there's anything here I want to talk about. So Oden's Eye is kind of sneak peeking Kiss of a Fairy lipsticks. This looks kind of interesting, but it wouldn't be something that I would place an order for. It would be something that I might pick up if I pick up something else, like maybe blushes or a palette. Maybe if they bring out a palette that I'm really interested in, I would also throw in a lipstick. But I don't really often order lipstick online. I like to look at lipstick in real life before I really purchase it. So I might end up picking something from this up, but not in the near future, I think. And then I just wanted to give you a little update about the Give Me Glow single eyeshadows that I recently talked about those really shiny glittery ones. They released those, but they announced it like a few hours before they released it, and then it was sold out in like 15 minutes, but they're gonna come back. They said they're gonna make it permanent. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye on their Instagram for their next announcement when they're gonna restock it. I'm probably gonna pick 1 or 2 of them up in the future, but not really soon. It kind of depends when I'm gonna make a Give Me Glow order. So I'm kind of eyeing that, and at least they are gonna make it permanent, so there's enough time to get it. So those were all the new releases. There are some releases that I'm just so excited about. I can't wait to get the Agnieszka and Kaleidos palette. It's just such a beautiful palette. I'm just so happy that I got this one, and I can't wait to play with that one. I don't often buy a release right on the release date, but with this one I just couldn't wait. I just felt like this was the perfect collab. And then the Natasha Denona collection, I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm quite enthusiastic about it right now, but that can always die down, of course. It kind of depends on the reviews and if I feel like I would use those colors and those products. With some releases, I just like to think about it a little bit longer before I really decide. If I'm not 100% sure about it, I don't really like ordering anything. So I'll just see about that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Marley and I love filming videos about makeup. I love doing looks and reviews and swatches and showcasing different brands on my channel. So if that sounds good to you, then don't forget to subscribe, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!